For a newborn harp seal, childhood does not last months. It does not even last weeks. Out here, on shifting North Atlantic ice, a mother may have only about 12 days to prepare her pup for a life without her. And when those 12 days are over, she leaves. The pup does not follow. It stays behind on the ice, alone. Born into freezing wind and lethal cold water, survival seems almost impossible, but the white pup is already racing against a clock that began the moment it was born. Its survival depends on what it can build before that clock runs out. At birth, a harp seal pup weighs only around 25 pounds, with limited swimming ability. Beneath that famous white coat, it still lacks the thick blubber that will help protect an adult seal in freezing water. For now, the ice is exactly where it needs to be. It keeps the newborn out of the ocean, while its body changes at extraordinary speed, and almost all of that change comes from one source: its mother. Her milk is extraordinarily rich. Every feeding transfers the energy needed to face the cold sea. Day after day, the pup drinks and grows fast. A harp seal pup can gain roughly 5 pounds in a single day during this brief nursing period. Beneath the skin, a thickening layer of fat begins to form: blubber. To a seal, it is fuel, insulation, and time. Every extra reserve gives the pup more time before it must find food for itself. And time is exactly what it is about to lose. While the pup is getting heavier, another countdown is taking place. Its mother will not remain here indefinitely. Harp seals give birth when pack ice provides a temporary nursery. But pack ice moves, fractures, and melts. So mother and pup are given an extraordinarily short period together, around 12 days. That is all. For those 12 days, almost everything the pup needs comes through its mother. Then, suddenly, that system ends. She leaves the ice, and the pup remains behind. There is no long transition, no slow childhood with a mother still nearby when hunger comes. The milk stops. What the pup stored inside its body becomes its new lifeline. And this is where the story becomes stranger. The newly weaned seal does not immediately dive into the ocean and begin hunting. For weeks, it may remain on the ice without eating. The fat built during those nursing days now begins to disappear. Slowly, the pup burns through the reserves its mother gave it. Its body is living on yesterday's milk. Every breath costs energy. Keeping warm costs energy. Even waiting costs energy. But the ice buys the pup time before it must spend long periods in freezing water. As the weeks pass, its white coat begins to give way to gray. An animal built for pack ice is becoming an animal that must live in the sea. And the ocean is waiting. But here is the real question. What happens when the pup finally reaches the water and the food is not there? Its mother cannot show it where every fish will be. She cannot guarantee that its first hunt will succeed, and she will not be beside it every time it surfaces for air. The young seal must solve those problems itself. But first, it must cross one of the most important boundaries of its life: the edge of the ice. From above, the water looks almost black. The pup has spent its earliest days avoiding that darkness. Now its future is inside it. An adult seal is built for water. This pup is not yet experienced. Its reserves must buy enough time to survive mistakes, a failed search, cold water, bad weather. Every mistake consumes stored energy. That is why those first 12 days matter so much. What looked like simple feeding was actually preparation for uncertainty. The mother's milk was not only making the pup larger, it was creating a biological safety margin, a buffer between dependence and independence. But there is one part of the system neither mother nor pup can control: the ice itself. Harp seals depend on seasonal ice to give birth and nurse their pups. But ice is temporary, and that creates a second countdown. What if the ice disappears before the pup is ready to leave it? If it breaks too early, a pup may enter the water before its body is ready. The nursery can disappear beneath it. The ice is not scenery. It is part of the survival strategy. Mother, milk, blubber, ice, timing. At first, the mother leaving may look like abandonment. Biologically, it is the opposite. Everything she has done during those 12 days has been preparing the pup for this moment. Her departure is not the failure of parental care. It is the final stage of it. At birth, the pup is around 25 pounds. By weaning, it may be close to 80. Much of that difference is stored energy, and now the pup begins spending it. Days pass. The mother does not return to feed it. The pup becomes lighter. Its reserves shrink. Eventually, hunger and development push it toward the sea. There is no announcement when it is ready. No single moment when the danger disappears. At some point, staying on the ice becomes less useful than entering the water, and the animal crosses over. The white nursery gives way to currents, limited dives, and searches that must end with another breath. Now survival depends on skills the pup could never build beside its mother. It must explore, dive, search, fail, try again. Somewhere below is the food that must replace its mother's milk. If the pup finds it soon enough, the cycle changes. It begins earning its own survival. And that is the real transformation, not white fur becoming gray, not simply a small body becoming larger, but dependence becoming independence. 12 days barely feels like childhood. For a harp seal, it is the beginning of the entire survival plan. 12 days to drink, 12 days to grow, 12 days to build a layer of fat between a fragile body and a freezing ocean. Then the mother leaves. The pup waits. The reserves begin to fall, and eventually, the dark water that once looked like the greatest danger becomes the only place where its future can continue. But imagine the timing were slightly different. What if the mother left before enough blubber had formed? What if the ice fractured days too soon? What if the pup entered the sea with too little energy to survive its first failed searches? The same strategy that normally buys time could collapse if even one part of the schedule shifted too far. That is why survival here is not just about strength. It is about timing. Nature has not removed the risk. It has given the young seal a limited supply of time, stored beneath its skin. Somewhere on that moving ice, a pup that began life completely dependent on its mother is preparing to spend the last of that inheritance, because soon, waiting will no longer be enough. The pup will have to enter the ocean, and when those 12 days are finally behind it, every meal must be found. Every breath must be timed. The mother is gone. The clock has run out, and survival belongs to the seal itself.